mic. Demir, you got the team? Don't type it up. I mean, type it up by all means. Do as you feel fit. Can you just read the starting 11s out to me, please?
So, for Eastern Lions, Keegan Coulter, goalkeeper.
I don't know what I'm looking at here. Right, number? What's his number?
Number 1. He'll be the goalkeeper.
Okay.
Number 12.
Number 12, Keegan Coulter, yep.
Daniel A.E., number 19.
19, yep.
Yeah, number 25, Dennis Deluri.
Yep.
Number 6, Peter Deng.
Where's Pete? Oh, yes, I've got him. He's 6 now, is he?
Well, apparently according to the team sheet. 13, Aaron Fabris. New one.
Bruce. Yep.
Fabris, F-A-B-R-I-S.
Yep.
Dan Gattagol, number 20.
Yep.
Ryan Losty, number 8, returns from suspension.
Yep.
Jack Musgrave, number 18.
Jack Musgrave, yep.
Number 7, Siggy Rizuki.
Yep.
Number 17, Nathan Smith.
Yep.
And number 15, Yanni Trumanides.
Yep. And Nathan Smith, is it?
Nathan Sim.
That's what I thought, Nathan Sim, yep.
On the bench, Matthew Collier.
No. Just give me the...
Give me the Dandy Thunder.
Yes, please.
Cool. So, Jamal Ali, number 4.
Yep.
Brandon Barnes, number 10.
Yep.
Number 9, Paul Gual.
Yep.
21, Giuseppe Marabiotti.
Yep.
12, Alain Puppy.
12. No, I've got a different one there, yeah.
Yeah, Alan Puppy's what they told us. Number 5, Mercer Mehmedi. Number 8, Selfie Nazari.
Number, what was that one?
8.
Yep.
Number 20, Harley Orr.
You're gonna, oh yeah, Harley Orr, yep.
Yeah, number 3, Keegan Sheridan.
Yeah.
Number 1, Francis Suale.
There you go, Blakey.
Yeah.
The teams.
Good as gold, except I can't see a thing. My irises are burning.
And number 18, Kostas Stratometros.
Oh, you're a beauty. All right, let's lock and load. You with me?
Yes.
All right. Yeah. Absolutely great. Do you want to... Oh my God, I can't see a thing. Stand up.
I'll stand up, don't stress. I'll grab a chair.
Yeah, grab a chair. Tell me when we're ready to go, James.
Yeah, it's all good. Oh, he's already on.
I should have known.
All right, you tell me when we're on air.
Yeah, we're ready.
Flush. K-U-L-A-S. And just imagine there's an imaginary H at the end. That's how you pronounce it.
Welcome to FA coverage of the culmination of round 4 in the Premier League in 2020. We're down at Dandenong Thunder tonight, the George Andrews Reserve. The fixture was switched, of course, from Eastern Lions home ground on Saturday. It's a Monday night, about 160, 170 years ago. Demir Koolash, who's with me tonight, 160 years ago they had the Labor Day March to march for 8 hours of everything. Every 24. We've got to squeeze in 2 tonight. Big footy to come. What's your thoughts? Dandenong Thunder been red hot.
Yeah, the fixture reversal to George Andrews Reserve doesn't make it easy for the Eastern Lions that have lost all 3 of their opening games by a scoreline of 3 goals. So I'm going for a home win and going to go for a 3-1 result.
Good on you to be sticking your name on the line tonight. It is Dandenong Thunder hosting against Eastern Lions, and Demir and I and our cameraman James all going blind, I think, at this point. The sun is going down on that far side and we're peering straight into it, but the action is already red hot. I'll tell you what, I reckon that cavalry's come. That's, no, there you go. This is beautiful. I actually see something, Demir, if you want to come and utilise the umbrella. That's much better. No, down. As, if you think that's Brandon Barnes, lofted ball, far post and not clear. Now I can actually see. We had the sun in our eyes. Are you comfortable with this, Demir? Demir Koulash on deck with yours truly, Blakey, and finally we can actually see what's happening on the field. Just to set it up, on the far side we've got sunset and we've got a great view of it. Goalkeeper's ball at that bay end of George Andrews Reserve. Seen some terrific footy over the journey down here. Eastern Lions, of course, with the GT stripe, the all red strip and the GT stripe, and Dandenong Thunder trying to recapture some of the glory days of a decade ago. Shamanis goes upfield. Easy one for the goalkeeper.
Now, Blakey, you've commentated one Eastern Lions game before this, which was the 5-2 defeat at Lakeside Stadium to South Melbourne. What were your thoughts on Eastern Lions? Did they look up to the standard that's required to play in this competition? Because I guess the early question marks about them relate to that and whether they'll be competitive this year, because so far in this season it hasn't been the case.
Well, I reckon there's a confidence thing. I'll have a chat to you about it in a moment. It's Dandenong Thunder on the attack. Patient build-up, all pummeled into the defender by Mehmedi. And come again, outside left. Square ball, top of the penalty area. Falls well for Marafiotti. Nowhere to go. Changed of direction. Mehmedi again. Keeps it on the deck. Awkward build-up. Good defence, good pressure from Eastern Lions on the road tonight. They are 0-3 on the season. Eastern Lions, Demir, I reckon they need to get an outcome. They need to get a result in the next week or two, because right now confidence will be at a low ebb. You start the season 0-4 and you are done. You are toasted. That season end. You're watching round 4 action on this very, very sunny Monday night. All the results are in and counted. Eastern Lions can actually manoeuvre up the ladder, as can Dandenong Thunder with a victory tonight. And I've got Han, a very good friend of mine, who's actually keeping the umbrella so we don't go completely blind. On the run is Jamal Ali across toward the top of the box. Brandon Barnes, it just eluded him. Eastern Lions. Oh, trouble for the Lions, and probably a little bit premature with a release. QL, and goes winging its way over the bar into the crowd. Good turnout for the Monday night. We've played about 3.5 minutes on FV footy tonight, Monday night footy. Han, you're doing a terrific job.
Thank you, Greg.
Han sitting here with the umbrella to make sure that we can actually see what's going on. There's a beautiful little ground down here in the greater Dandenong area. It's just not the best place to be broadcasting from here at this point of the day. I'm a little bit frightened you did homework on me, Demir. Eastern Lions would love to get something early. It was essentially their home fixture. And Ziggy, who scored a ripper goal at that South Melbourne defeat. Maybe a little bit something special from him tonight. We are 4:20 in. Are you agreeing with me, Demir? I like that. I like that in a fella. Bouncing ball, awkward away by Nathan Sim. Keep control of the footy. There's Ziggy. I like him. I like Ziggy. He loses the footy, though, in a challenge with Jamal Ali, who scoots away into attacking territory. The delivery wasn't great for Zelfi Nazari. So they'll just settle it down. There was a bit of a detour, so they're just going to recalibrate and load and come again. Dandenong Thunder. Of course, it was a decade or so ago that Dandenong Thunder were winning it all, because it hasn't been the most productive couple of years. They burst out of the blocks this season, and they would go back clear third on the ladder with a victory here tonight. But even Stevens, 5 minutes in. That was good stuff. Ballet steps by Jamal Ali, and then a long ball upfield. Mahali Orr, it's a bouncer and out of play. What's your thoughts, Demir?
Just on Dandenong Thunder in terms of where they were and where they're at currently. So back in 2009, they achieved promotion to the top flight of Victorian football and really set the benchmark for promoted teams to come because they finished the regular season in number one spot. They weren't able to win it all by losing a heartbreaking grand final to Altona Magic, but it was in 2012, of course, under Chris Taylor that they won it all at Amy Park with that memorable grand final win over Oakley. They've been up and down since, obviously had a relegation, but you've got to really say that following the start to the season, they're well primed for a top 6 run if they can keep up this form.
Yes, you mentioned Chris Taylor, the super coach. I'll tell you a story about him, Demir. He tried to knock me over with his car the other night. And Chrissy Taylor, he's an angry man. Ziggy, toe poke, up the middle, all Dandenong Thunder. Long release, speculative. Barnes is waiting inside. Ball takes an ugly cannon, and they'll get the turnover. The Lions. Needies for Ziggy. Dances inside. He got scragged and a very late whistle on that one. Taken quickly, but nowhere to go. You just think, Demir, that Eastern Lions, as I said, if they could get something here tonight, I reckon it may turn the season a little bit. But you don't want to go 0-4, do you?
You definitely don't, especially as a promoted team. And also when you do have a squad where a number of players or a large contingent of players have not played top flight football in the past. Obviously, as I've mentioned before, that whole situation with their home ground and having to give up home fixtures does not help. It's kind of reminiscent to really Western United in the A-League not having a proper home ground advantage because they're playing at a number of different stadiums. And Eastern Lions, I guess, have been unfortunate with that whole situation with the leakage that's affecting the technical area of Gardeners Creek Reserve, but ultimately it's something that they have to live with. And tonight's fixture is one that they should really expect something for if they put in the hard work.
Daniel A tries to squeeze it through the gap, nothing doing. They come again. They've had plenty of footy. Don't worry about that. But cheap turnover near midfield. Long loft by Ashcroft for the running Brandon Barnes. Look at him, big, broad, strapping Brandon Barnes. He's an absolute beauty. He's been a magnificent goal scorer for the club. And good dash from Jamal Ali. He's closed down in the end. Great gun battle going on between he and Tilmanides. Ali again just draws it to him. Outside run. Well, a lot of huff and puff, but they can't blow the door down at the moment. Ziggy squeezes it away. Long loft from Stratomitros, was it? And turned away, run clear by Aaron Fabrice, I think it is. My eyes are burning right now. I think we're looking right into the sun here. Nobody cares, you know. I'm an old bloke. I can't deal with this. The sun is streaming down and we're getting a bird's eye view of the sunset. But it's a ripper contest. We're over 9 minutes old. No goals yet. Neither side with an advantage. Lions. Oh dear. That's trouble. Ziggy makes the chase for it. He stretched the hammies and did really well. Squared it away. Dennis Delury, I think it is. Streaming clear. He's outnumbered, outgunned. I love it. You know what I like about you, Demir? Every time I say something, you nod your head in agreement. I feel more correct than I ever have in my life. Thrilled to bits.
Just giving you that reassurance, Blakey. I think we've had a bit of a rough start here with the sun, but I think we'll be in for a smooth 90 minutes as Barnes tries to play in Marafiotti, but it's just got a bit too much power on that through ball.
Well, I can tell you, it might not be troubling you, but your eyebrows have burned off. Demir, I'll just let you know when you get home tonight and you have a squiz in the mirror. Oh dear. We're 10 minutes a little bit away. Now, the situation is all the fourth round games in FV NPL have been played. They were all won and run on Friday, and I think they were all on Friday, weren't they? So this rounds it out. The stakes here are pretty huge because Eastern Lions can actually manoeuvre their way out of the bottom two. But more importantly, Dandenong Thunder, who have really made a statement in the early going this year, they can move back into a clear third spot and stay hot on the trail of the red-hot league leaders, Hume. They have been a little bit special. You're nodding to me? I'm waiting for... There you go, he's nodding, so...
Yeah, another fantastic win for Hume City on Friday night. Went to what is a tough road trip in Summer Street and made light work of the Melbourne Knights. 4-2 win in the end. And a goal of the season contender by the number 10, Stephen Hewitt, who has been an exceptional signing for the club since joining last year. And Nick Hegarty's men have really been the benchmark so far, as we see a shot there come in.
Dan Gathercole.
Gathercole it is.
Well, he launched it, but it was never going to be on target. We had a beautiful angle here. It is the George Andrews Reserve. It is Labor Day Monday, so happy Labor Day to those. How do you celebrate Labor Day, by the way? Do you have a party? Celebrate it? No, don't think so, no. I don't know. I didn't do anything. I'm old. I just sit at home and wait for games like this one. Round 4 action. It is Eastern Lions against Dandenong Thunder, and they've been bringing the Thunder this year. Goalkeeper balloons it downfield, looking for the spill over. The back was Barnes. Hooked away. Ziggy was good stuff, and even better stuff. What's he calling? Oh dear, really? So the free kick conceded. And it will be an Eastern Lions ball. Well, they've only scored a couple of goals this year, and that was on the road at South Melbourne. Ziggy squeezes it down the line into no man's land. No one home. Exchange of possession over the half line 1, 2, 3 times. Now to play. It's going to be Dandenong Thunderball. Jamal Ali, plenty of footy early. Great touch by the big man, Brandon Barnes. He ends up on his backside, but they'll come. They're relentless. Scoreless game, 12:45 played. Barnes sees an options far left toward the corner flag. I'll get a second look at it. Ashcroft, it may be. It's not Ashcroft. In fact, it's Paul Kual. Wasn't bad, was it? Kual. See the way it's like molasses off the tongue.
Rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
It does when you know it.
Yeah, and it's not the first Kual to play for Dandenong Thunder. I think it's his brother, Alan, who played a couple of years ago, or 3 years ago. Might have actually been John Kual. Yes, John Kual. And this is Paul Kual. So Nazari prepares to take the corner.
Well, he got that away quickly, and the corner was wasteful. It went high and long over the gathering clan of humanity and bounced out of play. It's going to be a goalkeeper's ball. Ball at that scoreboard end. Is that a good reference point? Scoreboard end. That'd be the city end, wouldn't it?
So I'd say that's the scoreboard end or the pavilion end, and you've got down here, you've got the bypass end, because this ground does back onto the Dandenong bypass.
He's good. I thought you were making reference to me and needing a bypass probably in the next year or two. I'm not tracking too well.
Let's hope not, Blakey. I am a local, so I should know that.
So the bypass end and the city end, and it is heading down toward the city end. As we head toward the quarter hour, it's Dandenong Thunderball, because it's their designated away game, but they're getting the home game. Eastern Lions ground not available 2 days ago. Dancing on the footy was Ali. Brandon Barnes with the release, squares it up. Barnes again, up route one that time, and the Lions, oops a daisy. Well done, Zeggy. He's got some ballet skills. He's silky. Constantinidis loft one. Oops a daisy. Nazari back up the line and come again. Good pressure going forward, holding the footy up, and the long bomb went North Korean rocket style way off the mark. Ambitious from that sort of distance to me. Did you just smile?
I like that reference, Blakey.
You wait till Kim Jong's on the phone. You won't like it then. Say it was Demir that said that.
More than happy for you to say that. One of the things that's quite noticeable if you do visit George Andrews Reserve this season is that they've got a new corporate pavilion right next to the media box here. It's not as noticeable tonight because this is an Eastern Lions home game, so it is closed, but the more infrastructure improvements that we see across NPL Victoria venues, the better.
Sunday's starting to find their rhythm, Dandenong Thunder. We've played 16, no score, but they're looking lean and mean and hungry. Top of the penalty area. Just cannoned away, and I think that was, I can't even see. Look, there we go, thank you. I can see again. We're just having this battle against the sunset. Whilst it's not pretty, it's a bit difficult to work with. Throwing on that far side. The Medi goes upfield, turned over. The Eastern Lions on the move, out of the back. Unsure, lack of talking then. And Thunder will come again. So the flag was up, and the attack is thwarted, much to the chagrin and the boisterous complaints of the Dandenong Thunder players in a scoreless game. I reckon the Lions will want to hang in there, and if they can, while there's life, there's hope. Right now, Fabrice lofted it long and high. Ziggy's there to fetch it. I like this guy. He's good. Look at him. Took him on. He doesn't mind backing himself. Dennis Deluru, that was. Ziggy again wants to do it again. Gets the hard work, gets legged, gets a free kick. Played for it, got it. And on 17, Eastern Lions maybe get their first look in. I agree with the bloke down there, by the way. Cheater. Not saying a well, I thought it was a good call by the coach. So Daniel A, and no, he'll leave it for this bloke. He's good. Oh, hot spot off the line. Terrific stuff. Eastern Lions get the first real chance of the game. It was match saver off the line. Demir. No, he's not with me. Look, he's trying. Oh, the foot race is on, and well won. Brave by Tumanides. He just wanted it more. Out of play. Dandenong Thunder ball. 18 played. 18 and a bit. Round 4 action to complete the weekend.
It was a good defensive clearance off the line there to prevent Eastern Lions from taking the lead. I think it was Dan Gathergold that got the header away, and it was a good header, but ultimately it's the way it's been for Eastern Lions so far this season. Just close, but so far away as we see Dennis Darlis on the ball. He's got Daniel A on the left-hand side. The advantage has been called because Darlis was fouled. Daniel A back to Ziggy Rizuki. Low cross in, didn't reach the target. And Dandenong Thunder momentarily cleared. Darlis is still down. Eastern Lions haven't kicked the ball out. They will now. And it's their central midfielder, Darlis, who's prolonged on the ground there. It's going to be an interesting night for Eastern Lions defender Jack Musgrave, who returns to the club that he called home in 2019 for half a season from memory. I think he did depart in the mid-season transfer window. So he's an addition that the Eastern Lions do have, who has got previous top flight experience. Not many in this squad do. Another one who does is the man near us here at left back in Peter Deng, who is, of course, also an international, having played a handful of games for the South Sudan national team. And one player he'll look to keep an eye out on is Zelfi Nazari from Dandenong Thunder, who himself is an international, having been capped by Afghanistan.
I am overwhelmed by the amount of knowledge that I Just learned from you, Tamir. Tamir, Kulash and Blakey and James on camera and Han on umbrella. You'd understand if you were here. 20 minutes played. No score. Thunder and Lions. It even reeks of a mammoth struggle, doesn't it? Thunder against Lions. That's great stuff. Scampering away. It's Daniel A. The flag went up, so it wouldn't have counted anyway. The ball cannons around, and in the end, the referee's going to bring a halt to it. And once again, some questions being asked from the bench. He's cranky. He's cranky. He's not happy.
Yeah, you'd think Sam Almazi would be in a bit of a better mood considering his side have picked up 7 points out of a possible 9 to start off the campaign. But I just feel that he wouldn't have been too happy with the start that Dandenong Thunder have made. It's been quite sloppy. Neither side has really gotten going. But in the last 5 minutes, Eastern have probably had the better of the play. And it's just getting a bit concerned by his side's sloppiness, Almazi. Of course, one man who's had a busy opening few weeks and also has prior top flight experience is the goalkeeper for the Lions, Keegan Coulter, who a couple of years ago was second choice goalkeeper at Oakley Cannons. So we see the ball break through for Marafiotti.
Jeez, you dropped me in it. Dandenong Thunder on the move, stabbed at by, I reckon it was Marafiotti. And away, so spin chances at both ends. Player hits the deck.
Yeah, it was a good sharp save there by the player who we were just talking about in Coulter. Now, Blakey, you would have seen Coulter play in one of his few top flight games that he did play for the Cannons, and that was that semi-final clash against Heidelberg United back in 2018, where he was subbed on in the 120th minute by Chris Taylor for that ultimately unsuccessful penalty shootout defeat to the Burgers.
Well, look, I've got to make two things clear. Demir, I can't even remember what I had for breakfast this morning. And number two, Chris Taylor tried to kill me in his car recently. They're the only two things I can glean from that conversation. We're 22, nearly 20. He didn't really try to kill me. Tried to give me a whack, though. Chris Taylor, he's angry at me for some reason. Throw in on that far side in a scoreless game. 23 played. Well, Darn steps. I reckon that was Peter Deng going nowhere. The ball ballooned. Ziggy just caressed it into the air. That was Peter Deng. Whack bang. Aimless. And the ball will loft and skid out of play, I reckon. Oh, no. That was terrific stuff then by Marafiotti. Did really well in the orange boots. The up and under. Danger for Dandenong Thunder. He'll get a second look at it. The number 8, that's Nazarian, it's nailed and it's home, and guess who? Brandon Barnes. What a shock. 23 minutes and a big fellow in the number 10, the top goal scorer. That's his 4th of the year, and Dandenong Thunder up by 1-0. It was clinical.
It's been a common theme for the Eastern Lions in the opening few weeks. Mistakes that you don't often get punished for in NPL 2, you do get punished for in the top tier. And if there's one player you don't want to give an opportunity like that to, it's Brandon Barnes, and he makes no mistake. After Coulter did well initially to save Kowal's tame shot, but when Brandon Barnes is in the box, he's deadly, and he's given Thunder the lead against the run of play, you might say, but the Thunder had in the past couple of minutes stepped up, amped up the intensity, perhaps after Coach Almazi made it clear in no uncertain terms that his side, he wasn't happy with what his side were dishing up, and they've switched it on as Rizuki looks for an instant reply by swinging the ball into the box, but Thunder clear away. Musgrave to Losty, who returns from suspension tonight, having been sent off in that 5-2 defeat to South Melbourne, in which he also scored in. It's going to be a corner kick to the Eastern Lions here, and I think it's going to be Rizuki who will look to take. Swings it in. Head out. He's Losty. And once again, it's been cleared off the line there by Dandenong Thunder player. I think it might have been Alan Papi, who was well positioned to prevent the Lions from equalising there.
You have lifted me on gossamer wings just there. Thank you, Demir. I think we're back up to speed. You're a good man. He knows his stuff. Demir Kulash. It's going to be a corner to the Lions, wasted in the end. So it's still 1-0. Brandon Barnes, fourth for the year and about his 550th for the Dandenong Thunder. He has been prolific. He's one of the all-time greats of the NPL in the modern age.
I do recall it was in round 3 last year that he got his first of the season back then, which was also his 100th league goal for Thunder. Now, if my calculations are right, as he's on the ball again, Barnes. Almost.
Wow, that looked beautiful through the air, just like one of my 7 irons. It missed the green in the end. It went whizzing wide of the far post. He's so dangerous, though, isn't he? So we played, I love the way, nobody else sees this, but every time I say something of gravitas to me, nods his head, I feel so good about the world. We played 27, and it's a 1-0 game. And right now, Dandenong Thunder, they're bringing it. The Thunder and the Lightning, they are back third on the ladder. Started the season 2-1-0, and now it's 3. Great driving run, though. Outside ball, Ziggy needs some magic. Swinging a hit and a left footer went whizzing away into the car park. And never even close to the mark. That is a bit of a heartbreaker for Eastern Lions. Not that shot in particular, but they've struggled to score this year. In fact, only the 2 goals away at South Melbourne, but right now they're facing 4 losses to start the season. And I've seen it before. Demir, you come in new to the league, you get whacked about early on, heads go down, heads drop, and the season falls away. You don't want it for these boys because I reckon they've been all right in patches.
Well, you want them to be competitive. That's the main thing, and so far it hasn't been the case. I guess they did well in the opening round to keep Bentley scoreless for 45 minutes, but they collapsed in the second half. And it was a similar story last week against Port Melbourne, where Port Melbourne just ran over the top of them in the end for a 3-0 victory. And in round 1, I guess it started with a bit of a contentious penalty that Harrison Sawyer converted, as we see Rizuki playing Daniel Lai. It's 1-on-1 up against Papi. Swings the cross in, looking for Losty. Mehmedi did well to get his head on it. To Menidis. Looks to Rizuki. Here's Daniel Lai. And Mehmedi once again with a defensive header.
There's a lovely little interchange between Ziggy and A, and then a belter from downtown is an absolute monster. It came whizzing and spinning from Deluri, I think it was, and just wide of the mark. So they just started to give a little bit. They're just revving the engine ever so slightly and threatening Dandenong Thunder in a very palpable way for the first time. We've nearly gone 30 minutes. In fact, we've gone 29 and a tiny tick as we head towards sunset here at George Andrews Reserve on this Monday night, Labor Day holiday. Eastern Lions, top of the 6-yard box. They're all white shirts there, though. And I'll come again. The numbers are forward right now. Daniel Lai, well, it was off the line or off the post. It was off something, but it wasn't far away. All of a sudden, they've decided they're up for the contest, Demir. This is good stuff. The adrenaline's pumping. The scoreboard's still gettable for the Lions in the do you love the GT stripes? I do, Demir. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, they're pretty good. Apologies if I wasn't too convincing, but I guess if you're Eastern Lions, the one disappointment about these chances has been the fact that you've been unable to convert them. Swale has stood tall in goal. And also a side note on Dennis Deluri, the central midfielder for Eastern Lions. He does go by Dennis Yongule as well, and he, like Denk, he is a member of the South Sudan national team. So it's not often that you see teams in NPL Victoria have internationally capped players, it's an even rarer sight if you've got a couple of them.
Jimmy Kulash, I reckon every time I'm with this man, from the first moment I met him, that I'm being educated, that I'm being schooled. He's doing well, thank you. He knows a lot of things. It's a 1-0 game. Dandenong Thunder lead it, but right now Eastern Lions have decided, well, we're going to roar and we're going to prowl and we're going to see what we can produce, because it's probably go time on the entire season. Right now as we head toward half-time. Losty got their header forward. Player goes to ground. Nothing called. Angling away from trouble was Kuol. He squares it up. He's all right. Marafiotti doesn't need my approval. Gee, that was a cheap giveaway. Just a little unnerved, a little bit lazy. Long ball downfield. Angled header for A. Ziggy's outside. He wants to go inside. Route 1, banging a whack. And the goalkeeper was all over that like a seagull on a hot chip at the beach. Although he's much bigger than a seagull to me.
That was actually a well-constructed move by the Eastern Lions, with Deluri's ball finding Gattagol, whose pinpoint header found IE, and his shot just didn't have the direction to trouble Suale, because it was straight at him in the end, as we see Losty on the ball here.
32 played, and Dandenong Thunder right now sitting on outright third spot in the NPL here in Victoria, season 2020. There's that glorious sunset on the far side of the field. Begins in earnest, and we all say thank you for that. Oh dear. Clearance.
And for those of you who have joined us late and are a bit confused by the colour scheme here, because Dandenong Thunder normally do play in red and black at home, it is an away game for them because of the Eastern Lions home ground issues with Gardeners Creek Reserve and a leakage in the technical area that's caused the ground to be unplayable at the moment. So that's why they're the home team and they're playing in their home colours of red, and Dandenong Thunder are in white.
Well, I know you didn't pick up on it before, Demir, but if you're watching on FV Live Vision on this Monday night, who loves the GT stripe? It's an old school design. Swinging a sway through the middle from Losty, the outside runner stumbling almost after it. Dandenong Thunder clear though. The foot race is on and it's well won. Tremendous battle between the two big men. Peter Deng's the man back and he issues instructions to his goalkeeper, Keegan Coulter. And Eastern Lions slip away. 1 to get back in the contest, 2 to head towards their first win of the year. But again, Sol out of his 6-yard area, and they'll tear it away. 12 minutes to half time. Peter Deng trying to upend his opponent who was having none of it. Brilliant stuff. And right, whizzing over the head of Brandon Barnes. That was wonderful stuff from Marafiotti. He's been really busy, really good for Dandenong Thunder. Well, I tell you what, there's a lot of activity from the benches, animated and loud. Good on them. They're passionate. Good crowd for a Monday night here at Dandy.
I think that's one of the things that we will miss in the top flight this year, not having a team who plays their home games on a designated Monday night. Of course, a couple of years ago we had a couple in both the Bulleen Lions and Kingston City, but following Kingston's relegation last year, they'll now join Bulleen in NPL 2, as we see a team shot by Daniel A.
So we've played just on 35, less than 10 to play till half time. Brandon Barnes, God bless him, only goal of the game on 23, and that's the way it has stayed. There he is on the ball again. Great turn. Brandon, left footer. hits an air pocket and stays adrift of the target. I actually can't see. I can't read that from here. If it's something rude, God bless you. Have a good day. Demir's trying to show me text messages. I've got a Nokia 301. I don't even get social media.
Well, we received feedback that the volume is too low, so I think we'll try our best to adjust it before the break, but if we don't, apologies for that, we'll make sure that we have it fixed by the start of the second half.
There's a guarantee you can't fulfill, Demir. Yeah. All right, it's a 1-0 game, 36 played, and the audio's not too flash apparently. That sits and sits. That'll come down with stars on it. Eastern Lions, well, yeah, they're giving it a shot, but got plenty of work to do. Dandenong Thunder making a statement this year. Hume City are the guns of the comp so far. And the ball out of play, Dandenong Thunder ball. Ali waits and hesitates and gains about 2 or 3 yards. Well played. He'll get called. Surely he's got to get called back. He's cribbing and he waits still. He's got Marafiotti down the line. Hits him first time back. Well done by Ziggy. Stepping inside was Jaluri. The way they come awkwardly, can't manoeuvre out of the front third, back third. Ali again, so busy, so nimble, so agile. And I reckon that was a bit soft. But anyway, Dandenong Thunder up by 1. They'd be pretty happy with their work. Brandon Barnes, he's a superhero, Brandon Barnes. Running through, got Scrag, Brandon. And he hooked the shot. Almost a blind turn to left foot and wasn't far away from the mark. He knows, that's the thing with Brandon Barnes. He knows where the goals are. It doesn't mean you could blindfold him, couldn't you? And he'd still know exactly where he needed to nail it.
Well, we have received feedback that the audio quality is actually good now, so that is good news, as is the fact that we've also received feedback that the commentating has been quality so far, and the bloke makes me laugh. And I know that that's not a reference to myself, Blake. I think that would be a reference to you. And shout out to Nate Ragupi for providing us with that feedback, the former Dandenong Thunder media manager.
Don't read me any cranky stuff. I'm not in the mood tonight. It's a Monday night, lofted ball. Barnes makes a run for it, but Calder's off his line. He scampers in, grabs it gratefully with 2 big mitts as we have less than 7 to play in regulation. It's a 1-0 game. Dandenong Thunder Monday night footy to round off round 4 of the season. It's an intriguing season at the moment because the pace setters are the unexpected ones. It'll be Danny and Hume City. I reckon a bit of 2 teams will come out of this weekend feeling pretty good about themselves. And Oakley, of course. And the regular heavyweights. Well, they're looking on right now. Eastern Lions, their 4th game without success. Siggy, love him through the gap. Well, getting a lot of footy, but in the end, Losty with the percentage ball back for Coulter. He goes first time. Daniel A, long way out from the target zone. Flag was up. Oh, really, honestly. 39 played. I love the scoreboard. Have I ever told you, Demir, how much I love the scoreboard here? I don't know why. I just have an affinity with it. First time I saw it, I thought, I love that scoreboard. Long ball forward. Clearance again. They've been on the back foot. They had one little red-hot period. Eastern Lions when they might have scored. Right now, as we edge toward half-time.
I know you referenced it already once so far this evening, but quality crowd in tonight. You can see the grandstand on the outside looks quite full, and if you look around the ground as well, there's people left, right and centre when you look at who's behind the fence and so on. So Monday Night Football rates well not only on the stream but also for those that are in attendance. Of course, the Labor Day the fact that it is Labor Day, I guess, does help because you haven't had people coming in rushing for a 7 o'clock home fixture after a day of work.
Yes, and I've just got to remind you, if you are watching on the stream, and to me you've been awesome so far, but they can't look left, right and centre because they're not here. Just making a point. But if you could, you would. You want right of reply, don't you?
Yeah, I do, because when either side is attacking, they can see what's behind the goal, and we've got plenty of supporters behind there, which is always a good sign, because I think that particularly earlier on in the season when you've got the better weather as Koal goes on a run.
That's it. Got to go with the play, old boy, because it's dangerous. It's Brandon, and it's an edgy moment as the shot comes in, and it's a great stop from Calder. An absolutely brilliant stop by Calder from the beaut of Koal. Was it?
Correct. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. It was Koal who did score in that round 2 3-3 draw against the Melbourne Knights away, and Keegan Coulter gave his defence a bit of a spray there. It just feels that they've been a bit too slow to clear the ball effectively and regain possession.
Oh, good stuff to me in commentary tonight. Hans here, James on camera, and the party's going to be on down in Greater Dandenong later tonight, isn't it? Kids, we're going out for a... Nope, of course we're not. Long pull up. Marafiotti. Ziggy got to the front of the contest. Scrag and a wrestle. Peter Deng. And again, Peter Deng in the yellow boots. Ziggy. Oh. And there's Deluri at the deck. There's a few yellow boots out there tonight.
Changed a lot over the decades, hasn't it, Blakey? I mean, if you rewind the clock back 20, 30 years ago, it would have been the stock standard black and white boots, usually copper mundials, as Rizuki puts the ball in, but Mehmeti should be able to clear it.
Yeah, well, nobody's yet explained to me how a coloured boot makes any difference to the way you play your footy. Just get some black boots. That's all you need. And bit of World Wrestling Federation in the end. Eastern Lions will draw the free kick. It was Fabrice who hit the deck. And the lights just starting to have some effect here at George Andrews on a Monday night footy, 1-0 game. Brandon Barnes, who else but, putting Dandenong Thunder in the lead. And as you pointed out earlier, of course, the home strip being worn by Lions and the away strip being worn by Dandy Thunder. It's a free kick, far side, angled right, deep for Lions. Chance to hit back before half time. Ziggy takes it. Lofted, header clear, not out of the danger zone yet. It is now, emphatically, by... And they're going to get the footy again. Still life in the old Lion as they come through. Deluri. Well, that was wasteful. Didn't put any thought into that at all. As we go into the last 60 seconds, if somebody be kind enough to keep an eye on the fourth official, there will be very, very little time added on for stoppages. That was really good. Great judgment then by the Dandenong Thunder defender. Oh, that was bold, wasn't it? He just really wanted that. That was Tumanides, and the cross comes in, flying in. Finally, the sun just heads over the horizon. I am no longer iris impeded. 30 seconds to play before half time. Holy moly, you were right. The joint's almost packed. This is a really good crowd for a Monday night, and perhaps encouragement in the future for Dandy Thunder to consider the Monday night fixtures, Demir.
Yeah, and as I noted earlier, they are a big hit when it comes to the streaming numbers. You do get a large number of viewers, as Kingston City can attest to, as well as the Bulleen Lions, as the fourth official, Pascalis Nardis, points out that there'll be 2 minutes of injury time. And I suppose another great thing about this ground is that you're right on top of the action. We definitely are, but also all the supporters that are either in the grandstand or on defence, they can definitely feel the intensity of the game. And I guess for yourself, Blakey, you'd be hoping to feel a lot of that later on this year when Heidelberg United goes back to playing home fixtures at Olympic Village at the newly reconfigured Olympic Village.
Oh, look, setting aside any allegiances anywhere, I've got to say that the league at the moment, Ali, let's go with him as he tries to sidestep an opponent. Does really well, hit the top of the 6-yard box, call for a penalty, nothing doing. I'll tell you what, he might have had a claim as well, but it's going to be a corner to Dandenong Thunder. Gee whiz, can't have been far away. We don't have the benefit of a replay up here.
It's probably for the better that we aren't going to replays at this level of football, given how VAR has been received in the professional sphere. But there was definitely a tumble by Koal there. Whether there was sufficient enough contact for a penalty remains to be seen as Nazari looks to put this corner in.
And it may well be the last roll of the dice before half-time. And the ball came off the Eastern Lions play. So this will be, I reckon, with 2 minutes time added on in this first half, this will be the last roll of the dice for either side. It's Brandon Barnes leading the charge for Dandenong Thunder. Got a goal on 23. And that's the way I reckon it's going to stay till half-time, depending on Dandenong Thunder and this corner at the scoreboard end of the ground. Signals made, he lofts it, back spinner, far post, big leap, a ruck of players round a corner off the line. Top stuff, great stuff, heart-stopping stuff as the referee brings the curtain down on a couple of wonderful moments, a great duel. It's still an arm wrestle. Scoreboard-wise, it's 1-0 Dandenong Thunder. Brandon Barnes, who else but Brandon Bloody Barnes? And that's the way it is as we go to the sheds. Demir, you have been approving Steely. Look at that Steely glaze. Half-time wrap-up from you.
Yeah, I think ultimately at the end of the day, that's why they paid Brandon Barnes the big bucks, because he's one of the competition's most lethal marksmen, and his predatory instincts inside the box were on full show in that first half with that goal, because outside of that, Dandenong Thunder have had a couple of other chances, most notably Koal. Keegan Coulter has done well to save him, and up the other end, they themselves have had their own opportunities at goal. Daniel Ai, as well as also a couple that were cleared off the line. I guess from an Eastern Lions perspective, you are happy that it's only 1-0, but at the same time, you would be quite disappointed that you haven't been able to convert your chances. When you consider the fact that outside of the game against South Melbourne, in which they scored 2 goals in, they've failed to break the drought since then. I guess the message for Jim Williams at halftime will be to put the ball into the back of the net. I know it's glaringly obvious, but that's what they need to do if they're going to be able to not only get something out of this game, but also be competitive throughout the course of the season, because at the moment, defensively, they are looking a bit shaky.
So it's half-time at a George Andrews down in Dandenong tonight, and it's Thunder, bringing the Thunder against Eastern Lions. It's a 1-0 game, plenty to come on FV coverage of round 4. Stay with us and enjoy the second half. Looks like it's on. Thank you, James. It gave us the countdown. Welcome back to the George Andrews. We've solved the audio problems. It was me. Welcome back. It's Blakey and Demir on deck on this Monday night to complete round 4, and Dandenong Thunder reclaiming third spot on the ladder at this point in the game, and we are at half-time. Brandon Barnes, the man in the middle of the ground right now, having a laugh with the referee as we get set for a restart. Dandenong Thunder in their away strip of predominantly white. And Eastern Lions still looking for their first point of the season. We'll be heading to the right of screen toward the scoreboard end. And the score at half-time is compliments of Brandon Barnes, 1 goal to nil. It's a beautiful evening on this Monday night. A great crowd down here, and it's such a pretty little stadium as well. And we got the full around the stadium descriptor before from Demir, who's playing on his phone. Candy Crush, I reckon, or something like that. I don't know what kids do on the phone. We're still waiting for a restart. 1-0 game. And away we go. Brandon Barnes with the first touch of the second half. Long, high ball into the front half in dispute. Half away from the traffic. Brandon Barnes just unbalanced his opponent, speared it through the gap. Chance for Kowal. He squared it up, and in the end, the shot came in from Azari. It took a little bit of a cannon, and it will be a corner at the bypass end of the stadium. The tree-lined bypass end of the stadium. First minute of the second half, and corner to Dandenong Thunder, who would love to ice the victory with a couple of goals. Goes near post, awkward clearance, spinning ball. Ziggy's there, hits it off the outside of his left boot to the scampering Deluri. Deluri into heavy traffic, and he was unloaded unceremoniously. Turnover, Dandenong Thunder. What a rousing start to this second half. Well, they're going to clear it. Got some acreage through the middle. That was a little bit wasteful, almost picked off. It's Fabrice, goes down the line for A, and it just rolls out of play. So big build-up and a disappointing finish. 90 seconds into this second half. Demir's back. He's got his little claw out. He's got something to share. Good on you.
No, just had your good mate up here in the box, sniffing around for team sheets in Chris Taylor. No surprise that he didn't say hi.
Chris Taylor, he tried to whack me with the door of his car, I reckon. He's got a dead set. He's dead set against me. He'd be pretty happy though at the moment. His boys are flying. It's a 1-0 game. We've got game on. Don't worry about that. Eastern Lions. This is, to all intents and purposes, a home fixture. It's going to be a Dandenong Thunder ball, though, from a couple of steps into the attacking half on this beautiful Monday night. James on camera tonight. He's done a ripper job too. Keeping the team in line. Strato-Mitros goes long, comes back just as quickly. This time a belter by Orr. Great aerial duel. Straight up the middle. He will back himself. He gets edged off the footy, and it will be a free kick. It's Fabrice, rather, and it's going to be a yellow card. First in the book. Well, I'm not sure in the context of the game, but anyway, it is what it is.
I think that's the first time we've mentioned a referee, so I think Alex Lieber, the ref, has had a pretty good game so far. Because with referees, when you don't tend to notice them, you've got to say that all is going well, and it's a good opportunity for Eastern Lions here to potentially muster up an attack.
So Musgrove played the free kick and then received. And so 5 passes forward. They made about 10 yards on the 4A. He Eastern Lions come again. Wouldn't they love to get a reward early in their second half? Deluri into the hot spot. No one home. Belted away. Emergency clearance from Dandenong Thunder. I think this is a one-goal game. Eastern Lions get one, and we are going to go down to the wire. They'll be up and about. Another one for Dandenong Thunder, and they can just about write this one in stone. Oh, great ball inside. Deluri on the run into the penalty area. Angled off the footy. Unbalanced. Tried one. The goalkeeper was great and brave and bold. Off his line, and he threw himself on the hand grenade. Brandon Barnes operating deep. Runs a wide circle. Oh, he's such a strong, powerful player. Headed down into open territory. Joel just edged it back for his teammate, Mehmedi. Now going round the Cape. Nearly 5 minutes played. Second half, still a 1-0 game. Still plenty to play for both sides. Eastern Lions with the chance to manoeuvre up the ladder, and the bouncing header was aimless, really. They'll take the restart slowly. Squeeze down the line. That was another great battle. I'll tell you what, some of the duels, the individual duels, have been exciting tonight. So Demetrius went forward. Bouncing ball out of play. So, Demir, we played 5 second half. Demir Kulash, what are your thoughts at this point? Still a 1-0 game in the balance.
I think, as we see, advantage call for that foul on Yongale. Fabrice went in a bit half-heartedly, and Kowal has retrieved the ball, but Tumanides mopped up well, and Fabrice here gets a second chance at it as he looks to play in Gadakol. They do seem to be a bit light going forward at the Eastern Lions. Now, I do know that they do have Amir Osmancevic on the bench. He, of course, is a former Dandenong Thunder player who did leave the club in mid-2016 under, you could say, acrimonious circumstances. There was a bit of, maybe not so much beef between him and the club itself, but the coaching staff at the time potentially, but that was a while back, and I do wonder if he's a bit more pumped up than he normally would be to get a goal tonight, and hopefully for not only his case but the Eastern Lions, it contributes to a result tonight, because as it stands, it's going to be 4 straight defeats, but we see Fabrice on the ball here.
We lined it up and just away from the keeper's reach almost. He was terrific. Holder just a fingertip it away. Eastern Lions, they need something now. They need go time. Ziggy might provide the spark. Speared it in. Bounce it clear. Arm wrestle again. Fabrice keeps it on the deck. Nothing impatient now from Eastern Lions. Ziggy leapt over the footy. Runs to receive, does well. Ziggy, left footer, far post. Fabrice is there. Can he keep it in? Tried to hook it back. Houdini wouldn't have got that one. Do you know who Houdini is? You do. Good on you.
I do, don't stress. I'm not that young. But no, that ball in by Rizuki just had a bit too much on it, and it's that quality control in the final third. It's been lacking from the Eastern Lions tonight. As I said, Amiros Mantrovic, one option they have on the bench to potentially turn things around. Cameron Niels is another one. He's a attacking midfielder that's got a bit of height on him, as well as a good, powerful shot. Do remember a few years ago back, I think it was 2016 in NPL 2, he was one of the league's best goal-scoring midfielders.
Is there anything you don't know, Demir? I'm very impressed at your thorough knowledge of the NPL here in Victoria. 53 and a tick away. Second half. 1-0 game. Dandenong Thunder still lead it. FV live stream on this Monday night to wrap up round 4 of the season as the narrative of the year just becomes more and more engaging, and you can't wait to turn another page. How about that for the run through the gap, but the ball just skewed away. Dandenong Thunder will clear under pressure. Eastern Lions, I reckon they've decided that this is it. This is the line in the sand. This is the Alamo, the second half here at Dandenong on this Monday night. Brandon Barnes, it cannoned off him through his legs. Oh, great challenge both ways, and 6 of one, half of others the other. Maybe it was there. And it's going to be an Eastern Lions free kick. Musgrove on the deck. I just heard the call from the bench. It's not netball. That was very, very astute. Because I reckon I've spotted that earlier on too.
Certainly one of the more vocal coaches going around NPL land, Sam Elmazi. It's also, I think you'd be quite pleased that you've got yourself a millennial calling alongside you, Blakey, that does get a lot of those references that you do have. Keep them coming, I say.
Oh, that was deft. Hope he hasn't outsmarted himself. Lofts it, it sits, and anyway, in the end, it's a glance and get it a safety from Ali. So if you're a millennial, what am I, a boomer? Would you call me a boomer? Hang on, we'll go with the corner. Just save your abuse. Don't be horrible to me. It's a corner. Scoreboard in, 1-0 game, Eastern Lions. Oh, they just want something. They'd love to carve something into this contest. Oh, and the rocket, the scud from Wade, that's about 2 suburbs downtown, wide of the mark.
Yeah, I think that's Tumanides who had that shot that, like a number of those Eastern Lions opportunities tonight, have been off target. That's, don't be too harsh on yourself, Greg. I think you can pass off as a Generation X member. Tumanides actually, it's been at the Lions for quite a while. He was there back in 2015 when they first made the move up to NPL 2, as it was known back then, or NPL 1 as it was then, because the top flight was known as NPL and the second tier NPL 1 up until a name change. So what is this? His 6th season overall. He was actually at Dandenong Thunder's 20s the year before that. So a bit like Osmancevic, you do wonder if he's got a bit to prove tonight, if he's relishing an opportunity on goal so he can get one on his old team. But at the moment, it's still a very favourable position for Dandenong Thunder as Eastern Lions look to play the ball out from the back.
I reckon right now, Eastern Lions have flicked the switch and decided it's all or nothing. Turnover at midfield. All was thwarted. Zari wasn't. Good stuff. Lofted far post. Man down is Marafiotti, Giuseppe. Sidestep, stutter step, double team, unleashed the footy, and it rolls over the line. It's going to be a corner. Dandenong Thunder bring it at the other end, down at the bypass end. I'm just not sure I'm comfortable with that. The tree line, the beautiful tree line bypass end. Under lights, Monday night action. Dandenong Thunder, they are in it for real this season. It's been a long time, a decade or so since they ruled the NPL world here in Victoria. It's been a withering start to the 220 season. Running outside the penalty area is Brandon Barnes, caresses that one into the danger zone. 40 players flying for the footy. It's a great ball, but it just bounced through between the goalkeeper and Ali, and it's going to be goalkeeper's ball. Called it from the bypass. I don't want to call it that to me, the bypass end. 58 played. FV Vision on a Monday night. 1-0 game. Brandon Barnes still on a knife's edge here. Great crowd on a Monday night. Great crowd anytime. It's a really pretty little ground too. Deluri. And a big collision. There's been a few little fender benders on the M1 since half time. They are committed right now, both sides. The contest is well and truly on. going to be Gathercole from the grandstand side. Loads the biceps up. Gets a long throw on. Loping hitter clear. Good touch. Oh, good pick-off by Sims, that was. White shirts were there in numbers. Away shirts, but they are, well, this is their home ground anyway. Nazari does well, goes outside. Marafiotti matching steps. Oh, the edging there to clear, bouncing ball. It cannons around, still in on yellow alert, if not red. Eastern Lions. And as all others fell around, keeping his head was Fabrice. It's going to be a throw-in to Eastern Lions. Been a good old game, this one, between 4th and currently 13th on the ladder. And it ain't over till it's over, don't worry about that. We're hitting the hour mark. And Demir, I reckon Eastern Lions are right in this up to their ear holes.
Well, as long as the scoreline stays 1-0, they'll be in it up until the very last seconds of the game. And that opportunity that Dandenong Thunder had moments ago, a bit of indecisiveness from Peter Deng, and it almost let in Brandon Barnes, but ultimately it was Kowal with the shot that took a bit of a hefty deflection. It was going towards goal, and that's what ultimately diverted it away from goal and safely away by Sim eventually, as we see Harley Orr on the ball. Back to Mehmedi. Took a bit of a touch, and Tumanides is mopped up to Fabrice. Back to Tumanides. Tumanides goes back to the ex-Thunder man in Musgrave. Coulter launches it, but Stratometros gets his head to it. Zal give Blakey back to Mike, and he can take over.
Ziggy with a drag and roll goes inside, left, right, and just too long. He arched his back, didn't he, Fabrice? And the referee's going to come over, and second yellow card of the game. Fabrice, there was a wry grin on his face. We've got getting a lot of, you can hear, I reckon they'll be picking this up in the mic. The bench down there, fairly animated, fairly loud, Demir.
Really not sure what Sam Almazi is going on about here. Referee has given the correct decision, which is a yellow card, and he's adamant that it should be a red card because it's a deliberate handball. Well, the only instance in which a deliberate handball is a red card is when it's denying a clear goal-scoring opportunity, and that handball occurred right on the halfway line, right in front of us here. So we see Marafiotti now, and there was a kick out of Fabrice, the man who's just been balked, right in front of the Eastern Lions bench. They're not too happy with this one. What did you see there, Blakey?
Yeah, no, look, we haven't got the benefit of the replay. Went to ground, that was fair enough. I think the second effort from Marafiotti might have just done a little bit more damage than it ought. But again, we don't have the benefit of the replay, so we're just second-guessing it. But it was rugged and it was hurt, and Fabrice is bouncing up. Oh, look, that's beautiful. Look, Fabrice and Marafiotti exchange handshakes. Fabrice is walking away thinking, geez, I don't want to cop another one of those. But it's good stuff. Good physical stuff here at the George Andrews on this Monday night. Plenty on the line. 63 minutes now in a thriller-diller. Still a 1-0 game. Peter Deng will have to run for it. He does so. Charge down, though, by Kewol, and here they come again. And who's that on the roll? Look at him like a buccaneer. Brandon Barnes holds the footy, gets his bulk in front of the contest, popped in the air with a header. Barnes is still lurking with intent. And finally away by Eastern Lions. It really isn't a balance. They get an equaliser, we've got game. And Dandenong Thunder, well, they'd love to just polish it off, wouldn't they? Marafiotti in the action a few moments ago against his sparring partner Fabrice. They matched dance steps. Marafiotti ambitious, got a lot more petrol in the tank with that than he really wanted. And Ziggy has got Ponderosa size acreage to work with. He slid it inside, put his teammate under pressure in the end. Ball out of play. I'm liking what I'm seeing. 63. We've got a contest on. Seatbelts on at home if you're watching on. Demir and Blakey enjoying the beautiful evening here in downtown Dandenong. We're going out on the town after we, aren't we, Buffett?
Well, if only Dandenong had a few good night spots, but I think we're still a few years away from that as we see Daniel A attack. They're going to get a corner, are they, here? Dandenong Eastern Lions, and interestingly, neither side has gone to the bench yet. It's going to be Daniel I and Ziggy Rizuki in the corner there. So a set piece opportunity here for the Lions. It's a good chance for them to get themselves back level.
Lions love to get some reward here on the scoreboard. Oh, the Palm Cleary, that was a really rash decision. And the effort on the turn takes a cannon and it spins away. That was lost. I just got to say quickly, Demir, one thing about the Eastern Lions tonight, they're 14th ranked defensively in the competition coming into this one. Conceded 3 or more in every game, but tonight they're holding firm. It's going to be a Lions corner, so to be happy with that, that's an improvement if it stays that way. Far post cross, oh, great stretch, arching the back, and a great pull in from the goalkeeper, Soal.
Yeah, that's definitely a more confident grab there by Soale. With regards to the Eastern Lions, I will put a caveat on that, as you've alluded to, if they can keep it that way. And with Brandon Barnes on the ball now.
He's a beauty, Brandon. He's a beauty, Brandon. Not to be denied once, twice. Swing and a miss by Ali. This contest is really starting to rev up now as we head into the closing 20 minutes or so, and went winging away from the target zone. But both sides, I think, now quite aware there is a game to be won. 24 to play in regulation. Eastern Lions in what is a home game to all intents and purposes. Peter Deng lets it bounce back for Terminides. They move it through the middle, traverse the half line. Fabrice growing in confidence. That is a great ball up and under into the corner of the penalty area. He's cornered, has to detour. Not unsure. The white shirt's quick to get back into the penalty area again. Fabrice tried to drive it and standing his ground, chest out, was Orr, and it took a bounce off the pecs and it'll go out of play at that scoreboard into the ground. And you mentioned the bench. I reckon Danny Thunder might be using the Pine very, very shortly. We'll go with the corner at the city end. 67 minutes of elapsed. Brandon Barnes, the only goal of the game on 23. FV, round 4 action. This finishes the 4th round in completion. Lots of pushing and shoving in the penalty area. And the looping header goes wide of the mark.
It's going to be Christopher Hatfield who's going to come on here. Did start that round 1 clash between Dandenong Thunder and Dandenong City, where he played the full 90 at left back, supplied a fantastic cross for the winner by Barnes, and he's gone on here for Koal. So I think he'd be deployed in a more attacking right wing position, as it seems so far, where he'll join Barnes and Marafiotti at the base of that front three.
So whilst it's a designated home game, this is 3 in a row on the road for Eastern Lions. Swalio comes powering out of the goal face. Marafiotti goes outside, top of the 6-yard area where it was all GT stripes, wasn't it? Oh, he's copped a bit. The skinny kid. Good on him, he's up and running. Fabrice again. Had a couple of whacks. This is a really good contest now. It's physical. There's been some terrific, half chances. The stakes are high. The time now a factor. I don't know about you, Demir, but I'm excited. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else on this Labor Day Monday evening under lights and down here in Dandy. Throw down the line. Daniel A. Deluri squares it. They're looking for an opening, aren't they? They're banging at the door, but there's nowhere to open it. No one to open it, I should say. 69 played 1-0. He's been so busy. Outside Fabrice down the line, and they'll get a corner out of it. They earn something. They get something in the end. It's going to be a corner at the scoreboard end.
Yeah, they're definitely pushing for that equalised Eastern Lions, and when you do have moments like this during the course of the 90 minutes where you feel like you're on top of the opposition, you're putting a lot of pressure on them, you've got to make these opportunities count, and it's another decent set-piece opportunity for the Lions. Let's see if they can make something out of it.
So corner, does the season even hinge on these moments for Eastern Lions? Ziggy's corner deep, stretched left-hand palm. It's going to be a corner from the other side of the ground at that scoreboard end. 1-0 game, Brandon Barnes with the only goal of the game on 23 minutes. We're into the last 20, round 4 of the NPL here in Victoria. And Eastern Lions, I think they're just trying to will themselves a result here tonight. Near post cross, great stuff, charge down, run clear. Nazari belts away, like a rabbit after it. There's the substitute, Hadfield. Well, his first touch he won't want to remember too quickly. Eastern Lions will come again. They move into the front third ever so slowly under weight of significant pressure. Exchange. Nazari is robbed. He had his pocket picked then. Patient. And can they afford to be so patient? Uproot one and spinning away. Cheaply turned over. Dandenong Thunder looking for a goal that would just about write it in stone. Oh, that contest was really red hot, and the shot from Brandon, the little short pass inside from his teammate and over the bar. Brandon would have expected better from himself then, I would have thought. So I reckon there's nowhere swinging tonight in Dandy that we can go out, you and I. We've bonded tonight, Tamir. It's been a big one. It's been a good one, and plenty of footy to come, I reckon.
It's going to be a long season. As in reference to the premier hotspots in Dandenong, where I'd still say a few years away from having any sort of reasonable nightlife in Dandenong. Tends to be a few Afghan juice bars and a few kebab joints open around this time of night in Dandenong.
Two of my favourite things, buddy.
But it is getting a bit more lively as the years go on, and who knows, maybe in a few years' time we'll have quite a nice stadium just up the road from here, as we see Gadacol foul Sheridan. And you really got to say the Eastern Lions have to change things up front, because it just hasn't been working for them. They've brought the ball over to the attacking third a number of times this half, but they just haven't been effective with it, as Hatfield has found from that long-range ball. Hatfield, long-range strike, but while it did dip before it reached Coulter, it reached him quite safely in the end.
It's a long bomb. Paints a rainbow down George Andrews. Straight into the hands of Kowali at that scoreboard end. Just a lull. It's been really quick this second half. Peter Deng defensively did well. He was off balance and he was falling almost backwards. Lions mustering up every bit of energy and courage right now to try and see this one out. They're still only a goal away. They've lost all 3 games this year, conceded 3 or more in every one of them. Right now they've conceded just the 1, and that's so painstakingly close for them. And they've got GT stripes, so they look nice and retro. Spectacular up and under. Bouncer there. Ali back doing the duties. Turn blindly right foot upfield. It's going to be a throw-in. Now go left, right again. And the nimble number 13, he's given as much as he's taken as Fabrice. Again, just a lull over the stadium as the goalkeeper just eats a little bit more time off the clock. 74 and a squeak away, second half. In the greater Dandenong area tonight. Under lights, it's certainly drawn a crowd, and so it should. It's been a absolute rip-snorter of a contest. And it ain't over. Stratometros will get the free kick duties coming from way downtown. Makes the signal. They're all congregating on the top of the penalty area. He launches one very, very deep. The charge is on. The blind back header away from Gather Cole, and they'll come clear through a throw in deep back right for Eastern Lions. Another look at the clock. It becomes a critical part of the equation now. Just over 75 played. Long throw down the line. And there is, I reckon, just even on the benches now, is watching on. There's just a little bit more intensity because game on the line and time to play. Good stuff. The drag and roll was almost enough. All out of play. Musgrove sprinted up to take the throw in. Goes into a nest of players. Physical contest. To Lurie, nowhere to go. So have to play it back. They lose a bit of meterage on that. Musgrove goes wide right. This is really good defence from Dandenong Thunder. They just gave them no options. Long loft. Brandon protects the footy. Squares it outside to Hatfield, the substitute. He slips. He gets another look at it, Hatfield, and in the end it was like, this is a hard... I'll tell you what, this is winding up to be a bit of a hard stopper. I'm loving this. Dandenong on a Monday night, who knew? Thunder 1. Lions 0, but the Lions are growling. They're pacing, aren't they? Marafiotti. Marafiotti takes it deep, double team, and in the end it just dribbles away into the hands of Coulter, who gets the restart, drills it for the overhand right foot. A quick break for the runner. Square ball in, danger zone, corner conceded. What a game we are now getting. That was Gather Cole moving up.
And it's a very good defensive clearance there by Keegan Sheridan to divert the ball away for a corner. It's really end-to-end action here, and if you are the Eastern Lions, you've got to be sniffing an opportunity here to potentially catch the Thunder cold and get yourself an equaliser. Interestingly, still no movement on the bench for the Lions, despite us being, 12 and a half minutes away from the 90.
Well, if I was going to ride the roller coaster on a Monday night at Danny Thunder, I'd want to ride it with you, big fella. You've been brilliant. Corner to the Lions. Game still in doubt. Ziggy's corner, and in the end, the man at the front of the contest got to shove the man at the rear. I think it was Ali. He just headed it away. So it's going to be another corner, is it or not? Lots of argument. Big mess of players, and it's another corner to Eastern Lions.
I think it was Musgrave, the ex-Thunder man, who rose highest there, but just couldn't get any sort of touch on it, and it ultimately comes off Ali and goes out to that outside for another Eastern Lions corner.
Well, it's been a slow burn, but we've got a barn burner almost off the line. Mad scramble. Oh, if they were ever going to score, and the referee comes in, finds a free kick with 3 Dandenong Thunder players hitting the deck. But it was just cannoning around like a pinball in there. If they were ever going to score, surely it would have been them. It was just toss of the coin.
That's exactly right, Blakey. Pinball stuff there. Frantic times for the Dandenong Thunder defence, but they ultimately held firm, as we see a first change for or a second change, sorry, for Dandenong Thunder, and it's Giuseppe Marafiotti who's gone off, and I believe that's Mohammed Faizi who has replaced him. I will just get that confirmed, but definitely looks like Faizi, who made his senior debut for the team at the tail end of the 2017 season and got some good game time over the last couple of years in NPL top flight football. Yeah, it is Faizi.
Yeah, good. Can you do all that on your phone, can you? That's wonderful stuff. I've got to upgrade one day. Just looked that up, didn't you? Tremendous. Modern technology. Who knew? 79-40 played, and it's a 1-0 game down in Dandenong Thunder, but it's been more than the sum of its parts, and it is still a thriller-diller, a barn burner, if you will. Don't give it away like that, not under these circumstances. Look at that freight train quick, and he'll earn the corner. Well, Nazari for Dandenong Thunder. They'd love to just get the pressure reliever here and put the game to bed in front of this rather magnificent Monday night crowd at George Andrews Reserve. Down at the bypass end of the ground under lights. Monday night, less than 10 to play, about 9.5. Corner comes in, dangerous corner too. The header's powered in the air by Musgrove. Hatfield, a short ball back, and can they run and release? No, they can't. I reckon Deluri just a bit of inferred pressure there.
Looks like there's some activity on the Eastern Lions bench, and I believe that's Cameron Niels who is getting ready to come on here. Although he might be putting his orange bib back on. Also see Matthew Collier receiving some instructions from Coach Williams.
All over this stuff to me. You've been a ripper tonight. It's a 1-0 game. Eastern Lions giving everything in this contest. Tumanides goes to ground. No free kick. Good call, ref. Let it go. It's a collision sport. Dancing clear, or trying to dance clear, was Mehmeti, but the free kick conceded anyway. So again, some respite in a contest that has become quite tense as we head into the deep, dark depths of the game. 8 minutes of regulation. Barnes holds his ground as he does. He's like a big old Mercedes, isn't he? He just runs and purrs and won't let you down. Oh, how about that from Hatfield? He span away. Oh, it was a great party trick, great dance move. But the call was that he was out of play. Didn't look like it from here. So there's going to be a change, I think, on the bench for the Lions as they face 7.5 minutes still to come for the Lions to drag themselves back into the contest. We've got to change. Tumanides gets a rest and the player on.
So Niels and Collier have come on for Fabrice and Tumanides. Fabrice, expected change given that he is on a yellow card. Tumanides has run hard over the course of the 82 and a bit minutes here. And as I said, with Niels, he will be going forward. He is an attacking midfielder that can also play as the number 9, which is the number that he's got on the back of his shirt, and he'll be the main goal-scoring threat for the Lions over the course of the next 10 or so minutes. Collier is a good utility player who we have previously seen for the likes of Box Hill United and Richmond in NPL 2. I think this might like a lot of his teammates, be his first taste of top-flight football.
Ziggy low and dangerous into the penalty area. Charge clear. Do you do a family tree on every bloke in the competition? You are a remarkable young man, Demir, I've got to tell you.
They don't call me a walking encyclopedia for nothing, Blakey.
Oh, there's probably a couple of other, adjectives that we could use, but you know your stuff. Good on you. God bless you. Lions. 6 and a tick to play. Scampering away. Daniel A. Slips it inside to Lurie. Almost closed down. Hit the gap running. Great stuff from Hatfield. Gets the pickpocket and out of play. Still a slow burn. Still a game. Very much in the balance. The Lions are gallant and brave. Thunder setting a pace this year. And if they're to lift themselves into the stratosphere, they'd expect to beat Eastern Lions tonight. So much in the story of the season being written here, I suspect. And the coverage was good in the end from Sims. The balls go spinning over the line. I'll take plenty of time on this. Meddy with the throw over the head of Hadfield. Collier just on the ground freshly. And more acoustic, more acoustic and audio robustness from the coach downstairs. Can they hear him? I reckon they could. It's pretty loud. Let's have a look into the last 5. And it's still 1-0. Brandon Barnes, round 4 action on this Monday night, Labor Day. And this has been anything but laborious tonight. It's been a thrilling contest in the end. Collier is fouled in the contest, and it's going to be the restart. Calder knows the urgency. He saunters across double time and slams the right footer upfield over the heads of 2. Big leap from behind. Is this the moment? Not quite. Great turn over the shoulder. Collier moves up. This is all right. Daniel A runs outside. Oh, delicate, gentle, and then toward the fun. There was no one home. Ziggy, do something. Left foot back. Oh, Collier. Lurie. Ziggy. Can he produce? Oh, no, he can't. It's given away to Zuri. Gets the steal. Those little legs start chugging. The outside runner is manoeuvred over the line. That was Frazee. Well, they're not. They're going to be buggered tonight. This has been an absolute rollick on this Monday night. 3.5 to play. Round 4 action, and if you joining us on the stream tonight, you cannot possibly, under any circumstances, unless you're an Eastern Lions diehard, be disappointed with what you've seen tonight. It's been a beauty. And it's still, you just get that feeling, that edge, that nervousness that's still not over. Brandon, never over when he's in the action phase. Oh, he gets hauled to the ground. I reckon that was, 8 times out of 10. I reckon 8 times out of 10, young Demir, that was going to be the game decider. But it's not. It is what it is. And the action ebbs and flows, and now it's back at the other end, and the ball goes bouncing across the goal face. In the meantime, there's still remonstrations about the penalty that wasn't. It's 1-0. We've got 2.5 to play, and it's getting really heated. There's some real disappointment on the Dandenong Thunder bench, and I reckon probably, again, without the advantage of the replay, I reckon probably for reasonable reason, now the 2 coaches are having, I think we take this one to a Senate hearing, boys.
It's contrasting views being shared on the 2 opposing benches. Amazi, as he has been all night, quite animatic. Williams baffled by the stoppage because Nazari had seemingly gone up to his feet, but I guess, if there ever is a question mark over a potential head injury, it's better to play it safe and ultimately stop it. I guess the thing is, it is the 88th minute, and Eastern Lions are chasing goal. Gathergold should have gotten the touch on that one. Easier said than done, I guess, but you've got to seize the opportunity there as Eastern Lions preparing to bring on their third and final change, and it's going to be the former Thunder man, Osmancevic, who is going to be coming on, but have they left it a bit too late, Blakey, because you've essentially got one more minute of regulation time to go, then we're to the mercy of the referee as to how much stoppage time we do get, as we see, I believe that's Jamal Ali who's down in the corner over there.
It is indeed, and I suspect he won't be bouncing to his feet any time very, very soon, because this all puts pressure on the clock, doesn't it? We're into the final 60 seconds. Brandon Barnes with the only goal of the game on 23 minutes, and that's the way it stayed, but it's been a riveting struggle. It's become a little bit end-to-end. It's like a couple of old heavyweights at the top of the 12th round, just starting to belt each other around the head, trying to get an outcome. But right now, despite an improvement on the scoreboard for Eastern Lions, it's going to be Dandenong Thunder unless something extraordinary happens. We're going to take home the big W and reclaim outright third on the NPL table in Victoria in 2020.
I think we'll get 5 minutes of out of time from what I was able to eavesdrop on the referee and fourth officials conversation. I think the fourth official, Pascalis Nadas, has got something to say to the referee Alex Lieber about the conduct of Almazi, and he will show him a yellow card. Might be an unpopular opinion with a lot of the home supporters, but I think that is deserved. There is a thin line sometimes between being passionate and vocal on the sidelines and sometimes just overstepping the mark over, ultimately at the end of the game, at the end of the day, it is a football game. There might be 3 competition points at stake, but some of the behaviour, not really tonight, but over the course of the first 4 weeks, not by him, but by some, has been a bit concerning. As we see a foul on Stratometros, 6 minutes, in fact, of out of time, and that third and final Eastern Lions change will be made here with Osmancevic about to come on, and it's going to be Gattergold, the man who's going to be coming off.
Demir Kulash, so we're certainly into stoppage time. Dandenong Thunder leader by a goal to 0 as the egg timer, the sands and egg timer start to spill through. 6 minutes of time added on, as you mentioned. And look, I've got to tell you, Demir, as well, though, look, it's heated. It's a brutal contest. It's the Coliseum, baby. People do get heated. It's a contest. Daniel A is... That's good stuff from Nazari. It's been a great duel all night. We're in stoppage time. Hopefully one of us, meaning you, keeping tabs on the 6 minutes, because I reckon we're about 90 seconds in. Getting a bit physical. Players going to ground. 1-0. Dandenong Thunder looking to reclaim outright third. The substitute there. Barnes holds it. Belts it back up the line. Possession footy from Dandenong Thunder in front of our home fans on a Monday night. Good stuff, really. Holding the footy. Harley and Barnes, long way out from his favourite place on the footy field. I'm going to get into trouble for that. People don't like me saying footy. Get that on the live stream. Just don't tell me about it. Into stoppage time. Great possession football. Almost stolen. A bouncer back to Coulter, who knows they have to move it fast and move it long. So is that stoppage time that you're...
Yeah, it's maybe 20 or 25 seconds into it, so we're about 2 minutes in.
Thank you. I was hoping you'd get that out. You're speechless at the action. Yeah, tonight. And off the edge of the box. Collier, nowhere to go. Pulls a 90-degree turn. Here they come again. They're not giving it away cheaply. Don't worry about that, Lurie. And they might get the corner. They can. The best efforts of the defender wasn't enough. It was Mehmedi. It's going to be a corner. So is this the game? Is this the time? Is this the point of the season that Eastern Lions get something palpable, something tangible for their efforts? I reckon we're about 3 minutes into 6 minutes of stoppage time, and the tension and the drama here at George Andrews sends a pall of silence in the crowd. Oh, goalkeeper. She said, not on this time. He just punched it away. And Dandenong Thunder happy to get the distance release. Barnes thunders onto it. And Peter Ding with the left footer out of play. They will be dead set exhausted. Deep into stoppage time. But it's been a wonderful game on this Monday night to celebrate Labor Day. And Brandon Barnes with the only goal of the game on 23 FV, round 4. On this Monday night to wrap up the round of games. A little belatedly, this game rescheduled from Saturday, of course. Where's Demir when you need him? How long have we got on the clock, big fella? And straight into the arms of Coulter. He goes quickly. Ziggy, 2 minutes to play. Countdown clock is on. Ziggy straight up Route 1. Deluri. Hatfield brought the pressure. Crash tackle, and it's going to be a Dandenong Thunderball. How long do you reckon, big fella?
Just under 2.
Just under 2 minutes. I'm relying on you, my friend. So, less than 120 seconds to play, and Dandenong Thunder will be very, very much hoping to hang on to this. It's been a gritty struggle, but it's also had its moments of thrills, and the crowd have enjoyed it enormously. They've been vocal, and they came in numbers. Coulter knows the urgency of the situation. Rocket launcher into the front half. Clearance. Ziggy bobs up on the right. Threaded it where he thought it was impossible. Up and under, the flags up won't count. Holy moly. Hearts in mouth at that particular point, but the flag went up on the near side. We get a time call on this from about 1 minute. So it's going down to the wire. Hey, listen, you've got a big give a bit of credit to Eastern Lions. They've given something special. Not even 60 seconds, and the referee brings down the curtain on, well, a theatre of drama and thrills and spills on this Monday night. And Dandenong Thunder go 3-1-0 on the season. Back into outright third on the ladder. They'll be happy with that. But they had to fight for it. Brandon Barnes with the go-ahead and only goal of the game on 23. Eastern Lions, they huffed and puffed, but they couldn't quite get over the line. Great struggle, great game. And Dandenong Thunder, oh, they are certainly in the frame now. They are certainly in the conversation.
Yeah, fantastic start to the season for Dandenong Thunder. 10 points out of possible 12. You couldn't have really asked for a better start if you are Sam Almazi, given how well his team has played and also the manner in which they were able to salvage a draw in round 2 against Melbourne Knights. As for Eastern Lions, look, let's start off with the positive. When you concede 3, 5 and 3 goals out of your first 3 games, so that's 11 in 3. Conceding 1 tonight is a good step forward, but at the end of the day, you also have to factor in that it is 0 points to come out of another possible 3, and you're not going to stay up with ambition going forward. And I think that ultimately tonight, it took them up until the 78th minute for them to bring on their first subs, because prior to that it wasn't working. They need to be more confident in their abilities and less risk averse. I think that they need to take more risks if they're able to thrive in this competition. And tonight, while they were quite solid at the back, ultimately you need to show a bit more ambition going forward, and they didn't have it. But ultimately, you can't have any complaints with the result. Dandenong Thunder deserved a win. Perhaps they could have gotten another goal out of the likes of Barnes or Koal during the course of those 90 minutes, but ultimately they won't mind too much about it. Another 3 points on board for them. They'll go to third spot on the ladder, just behind the Oakley Cannons on goal difference, and what a positive start for them it is, given the fact that last year it took them until round 24 for their first home win. They've got 3 home wins from their opening 3 games.
Jameer Kulash, you have been a ripper, mate. You do know your stuff, and I feel very honoured to have had your authoritative word on pretty much everything that's ever happened in the history of the world tonight. You're a good man. Thanks for your help tonight. Dandenong Thunder, good on them. They are in the competition for real again in 2020. Thanks to James on the camera. Good job, you. Nice hat as well. Everybody likes a man in a hat. It wraps up round 4. The Lions, well, they roared, but they couldn't quite score the goals that they needed. It's a 1-0 win to Dandenong Thunder, and Brandon Barnes, God bless him, he's a legend already at this club. That's the way it's going to be on FV round 4 action completion tonight. I hope you've enjoyed the coverage. Take it easy. Catch you soon.